Day one, $10,000 to $12,000. Day four, $19,000. And day seven over here, $27,250. I'm going to be showing you exactly how my client Yash here went from $0 to $27,000 within 7 days. And he only did this with 64 YouTube subs, averaging 100 views, and 32 Instagram subs, averaging, I think, 200 views on Instagram. No cold outreach, and all cash collected. As you can see right here, I'm not lying. His YouTube channel has been barely popping off, which isn't a bad thing, and I'll be explaining why. And he barely has any followers on Instagram. Yash and his business partner Ryan initially came to me wanting to sell their program that they just started. They are e-com experts, and they built a program and had no idea how to go about coaching people or selling their program through Instagram and through YouTube. So when they first came on board, we created a roadmap, and these are the typical goals that we give people. One, we're going to build an attractive offer that's going to allow you to collect a ton of cash upfront. Make sure you're servicing the right people who can get results. The second thing is we want them to spend hours on content and sales in the beginning. And then three, create an inbound environment. Right? We want people coming to them pre-sold. Okay, no outbound stuff. Of course, you can do that and it works. But life and business is so much easier when you have people coming to me. And if, once again, I say this in every video, if you have to ask anybody who is doing outbound, they always want to go inbound. And anybody who's successful really on Instagram doing outbound, it's only because they already created a inbound environment. Because when you go outbound, that person here is immediately going to check your Instagram profile. So if you have the right thing set up on your Instagram profile, you're okay to go outbound. But it's also not the most efficient and scalable strategy. Our ultimate goal, though, is as a coach / info seller, your only focus should be on content, sales, and clients. Anything outside of that, you should not be focusing on that. And we typically give people the exact roadmap that they need to hit in order to reach that goal where they're scaling to $20,000 to $100,000 a month, only focusing on content. Sales, if they want it, you can sell in the DMs and clients. So in this video, I'll be walking you through how our fully scaled roadmap allows you to collect cash quickly, just like Yash and Raman, and be breaking down everything that we did for them to get them to $27,000 within 7 days, and for you to set up a solid foundation for your coaching business. Now, if you guys are watching me for the first time and don't know anything about me, I generated over $5 million in revenue online. I grew my content agency all the way to $70K a month, and now I help out info sellers and coaches scale. And I'm not a coach, okay? I'm not here to baby you. I'm not here to hold, hit you up every day, making sure you're building your business. What I'm here to do is be a demonstrator. My job is to stay on the bleeding edge of marketing and on social media and test and fail and demonstrate the winnings to my inner circle, to the people here on YouTube, so you don't have to waste any time. That is my secret sauce. I am, in a sense, autistic when it comes to social media marketing, funnels, all that stuff. But really the new thing here, the thing that is working, is ecosystems. But 18 days ago, before Yash actually started with me, this was the situation that he was in. Zero revenue. He did have a program built out, so that's why we took him on. He's also an expert within his space. But he didn't have a marketing message or the full-on offer actually built out. And he was stuck looking for the right system to scale. And he thought that was a traditional funnel that he needed. But 18 days later, today, he's already collected $27,000 cash collected. Ideal prospects coming to him inbound. Okay. Every day, getting on sales calls, winning content on YouTube he has, in an ecosystem that is being created. And I don't know why I spelled ecosystem like that, but we're building an ecosystem versus a funnel. If you want a full breakdown on that, you can check out the other YouTube video in the description, but you should watch this first because once again, I'm going to be showing exactly what we did for Yash. So here's what we did to get him launched. super duper duper quickly and getting him results right away. So, number 1, create an attractive ascending offer. Number 2, we have a cash injection campaign. Number 3, we get him in the sales flow and having the right mindset, and I'll talk about that in a second. Number 4, YouTube content that converts. And then number 5, systems and scaling. So I'm going to be showing you what we're doing next for him to really systemize this process, because things happen really quickly for him. And of course, within 7 days, it is a little bit hard to have that fluid system built out. So the next steps for him is just systemizing that sales process, his content, and everything that goes in between that. Okay, so number 1 here, what we're doing for Yash is developing out his attractive offer. Like I said, he had the program in place, but no offer. And the offer, all that really is your sales copy and main message, and also the exact process that you're bringing somebody from point A to point B, which is the dream scenario that they want to be in. And you package that up in a very sexy way, I like to say, that is attractive for, whenever you put it out there on YouTube for the first time, when you start creating videos. So number 1, that's the thing that we were focusing on. In order to create a great offer, the first thing that you need to do, and a lot of people miss this here, is a ton of market research. And the reason why we do this is because we want to find the gap, your uniqueness. Let me explain this to you. If you think of the market or your niche as a chessboard, if you're playing chess and you're going to make a move, you need to analyze where all the pieces are at on the board before you make your next move. Otherwise, if you don't do that, if you just go, I'm going to move the king over here, you're flying blind. It's going to be a bad move. We want to study the market like it is a chessboard, because without studying the market, you do not know where you are in the market. You do not know what I like to call your gap. Okay, in the market, everybody's servicing over here, everybody on this land here. Everybody's chilling on land. There's some people here in your niche, other people serving these types of people, but you see this gap of people that you can service, or this gap can be your uniqueness as well. Like, what is your unique mechanism? And without analyzing the market, you don't know. You can't ever figure out what your unique mechanism is, because you don't know what's truly unique unless you know what's already out there. So that's the first thing that we're doing. We analyze the market by doing market research, coming up with a swipe file, all competitors. From the swipe file, we can begin to develop the right marketing message, the right offer in place, and plug the gap into his 7-figure winning offer. And we give him a template for this. And we want to design it like a Ferrari car. We want it attractive. We want it, as when somebody's reading it, the offer doc, it makes you want it. And people are already pre-sold. Everybody always wants a Ferrari. If they had the money, they would definitely go ahead and get it, right? Pre-sold. That's the type of offer that we are after. A lot of people also get the course and the offer mixed up. Like, what is the difference between that? Okay. Well, the definition of a course or program is the actual content, the curriculum, or the service being delivered. The offer is the way it's structured, priced, and framed to make it appealing. And the focus with the program is teaching, delivering results, solving a problem. The focus with the offer is communicating the value, increasing perceived worth, and handling objections. It's a little sauce for you there. And then the components of this for the course and program is lessons, modules, support, deliverables, community, whatever you're doing to actually give the service, give the product. And then for the offer, prices, bonuses, guarantees, urgency, positioning, messaging, and framing. The purpose of the course and program is to help the client receive the transformation. The purpose of the offer is make the client want to buy the transformation. And with Yash and Ryan, we wanted to create great offer positioning because there's already a lot of people within a space, And we need authority. We need the personal brand being developed, and you need a unique mechanism. This is what I call the trifecta. This is how you stand out. Okay, everybody is making crazy offers nowadays. How do you stand out in a sea of bloated offers? You create the trifecta. You develop your authority. You display that in the offer. You have your personal brand, the type of people that you attract. And, what you show to create that Netflix-like movie in your content on YouTube, etc. And then your unique mechanism. This is a different way of achieving results. For example, keto diet versus carnivore diet. It's a new way of achieving results. It's unique. So those are some things that disappeared, but those are some things that you can do to stand out in the sea of bloated offers. If you hit this trifecta, you're chilling pretty well. Okay, from there, once we developed out a pretty amazing offer for Yash and Ryan here, we went into cash injection, getting sales. If you're lacking on the sales side, this might change your perspective about how you go and post content on social media and everything that you're optimizing for. Because there's a difference between the creator and the business owner. Creators optimize for views and vanity metrics, and it prevents them in a way of operating that doesn't get them to achieve sales from social media. That's a creator. The business owner operates in a way that is all designed to make sales. If you adopt the perspective of the business owner, you adopt the right system of earning cash from social media. A lot of people have that the wrong perspective there, and it causes them to make the wrong actions. This is basically the artist versus the architect. The artist is creating the painting or creating the piece of art to look good, gain attention, get views, get likes, have a viral moment. It's very audience orientated. The architect designs with a purpose. It's designed to attract the right person into the environment there, into the ecosystem, into the funnel that you're building out. Okay, you nurture and you convert. It's very sales orientated. Not in a way where you're like forcing sales, but you're optimizing for conversions. Okay, so you want to adopt that sales lens and you want to run a sales campaign. Most coaches think that when you post on social media, you're going to all of a sudden just get sales. No, you need to think like a business owner. Business owners or sales managers, right? If a big business has a sales team, they have a sales manager, and they are running sales campaigns. There's a difference there between a sales campaign and a marketing campaign. The beautiful thing is when you get both those campaigns to fall in love. Okay? So immediately what we're doing was looking for warm people, referrals, and doing warm inbound outreach on his Instagram or with people that he knew. And immediately he started to book calls just from referrals, warm people that he knew. And as he was booking those calls, though, we noticed that there was a little bit of lack of skill when it came to the actual sales calls itself. He was already a great salesman. He was a car salesman. In another lifetime, he was telling me, sorry, Yash, if I'm blasting here. But anyway, he was already pretty good at sales. He just needed the proper framework and a little bit of coaching in order to take it to the next level and actually close the deal. Because there is differences between, if you're a solar salesman knocking on doors, not saying he was doing that, but from doing remote sales, online sales, info product sales, there's a great framework and great ways to go about the sales process. So immediately what we started to do is help him out with his sales calls. And the goal was to get him to understand the sales process, the frameworks, common objections to eventually build out that sales team. And we have our guy here, Coach Jamil, or whatever you want to call him. Jamil here is partners with Daniel G, and he coaches inside our community here and you can go ahead and get on a call with him and he'll walk you through the sales process. Really talented individual. Honestly, I don't know a better salesman. Maybe Daniel G is a better one, but I've seen this guy sell and it's crazy. So he helped Yash with the sales process. I also helped him with the sales process so he could immediately start closing deals, because we identified, hey, we're getting people on calls, but he's not getting the deal closed. So we fixed that right away. We gave him the knowledge, and the whole goal is to build him out a sales team. But if you yourself, the coach, end up skipping that process, because look, nobody's going to know your product better than you. And it's always best for the coach to sell in the beginning, because A, you really begin to understand your audience. And then B, nobody knows the product like you. So you can explain it really well and you can walk people through it much easier than just hiring out a random sales guy and tell him, hey, sell this thing. It's not going to happen. You need to sell a couple of times, 20, 30, 50 times. Then you can have the knowledge to coach the sales team. Now, we do end up installing sales team. I'll talk about systems and scaling, the next things that we're doing for him. But still, you're going to be managing these people and you need to know how to talk to them. You need to know how to have a sales convo with these people. So immediately, Jamil was able to help him out. I was able to help him out, and he started to instantly close deals with the sales framework. And this is the actual framework here that we're using. I put it in a nice little visual. When the prospect hops on the call, okay, we're doing about a 1 minute, and this is an opening. From there, we're going into current situation, pains, what sucks, what's going on, working history, goals, and then figuring out who is involved in the decision-making process. And then we're presenting the offer. Then we're closing. And if you don't get the close, we go through our objection handling frameworks. And then from there, you're onboarding on the call. So this half here takes about 10 minutes. And I just want to say, objection handling frameworks are really, really good at that. And we give you the exact frameworks. But it's just a tactic. It's a quick fix. It's putting a Band-Aid on the real problem. If you do everything right in this 20-minute section where you're qualifying, you will get no objections. You handle all the objections before you actually present and before you talk about pricing. That way you never get an objection. And giving Yash this framework and the exact details around it, like I said, he was able to easily close his next few clients, because it all just made sense and he wasn't really getting any objections, and he also had the firepower of knowing how to handle objections in case he did get one. So the next thing from here, what we were doing is focusing on YouTube. Pre-sold mastery, as I like to call it. So we got him to understand the framework around selling people and began to sell people. But we also wanted to build on YouTube, because what we know is that we're building an ecosystem over a funnel in the long run. So might as well start out on YouTube as the main platform and then Instagram as the secondary platform. And an ecosystem is what really is a pre-sold system. You get pre-sold leads, and that is why we're focusing here, because a funnel is so straightforward. An ecosystem nurtures, has the person reach out to you, creates an environment where the lead, the viewer, thinks, man, I need to get help from this coach. And they reach out to you. How do you create that environment? Well, you start off with an ecosystem. And YouTube itself pre-sells leads and creates that inbound environment. It's probably the best place for it. And we weren't focused on views. We were focused on targeting the right individuals. We weren't focused on intention techniques. We were focused on converting through content. And the way we were doing this was through a YouTube, let me get my pen out, a YouTube sales letter. Like I said, we are targeting people here. And there's elements throughout this entire video that is all designed to take the right person, somebody who can afford that attractive offer that we created, and have them take action by the end of the call. Essentially in this video, besides that as well, we're taking somebody here, viewer for the first time, even like a cold viewer. We're taking this person who doesn't know you. They don't know you. They don't trust you. They don't know you. They don't trust you. They don't see you as an authority, and they don't even know what you offer. And in one video designed in the right way, we're taking them to a situation where they know you, they trust you, they see you as an ultimate authority, and they know exactly what your offer is, and they're ready to go and take action. All we're doing in that video, we have the right elements to, if you think about it as like XP, you want to build up your XP in all these factors, your trust XP, your authority XP, your attractive offer XP, and you do that with the right elements in a YouTube video. We gave this to Yash. He started to create his YouTube videos, and even with only 100 to 200 views per YouTube video, he was getting book calls. He was getting people who were ready to go. And that is how we scaled Yash to $27,000 in 7 days. Now, that's not the end of it. That all happened really, really quickly. We want to make sure this is systemized. We want to make sure there's consistency in the leads, in the closing, in the content coming out, in the marketing message. Keep on developing it, making this entire thing a actual working system, not just a one-off fluke. The goal here is to get to 100K with a system in place where they're not working too much and they have a very lean team, maybe 1 to 3 people. Okay, and these are the next steps. Number 1 is setting up the sales team. We need the appointment setters and closers in place who are commission only. We're going to be installing them onto his team when there's enough lead flow for them to set appointments, as well as eventually start closing on calls for him. The idea here is, though, to protect profit. So that's why we do commission only appointment setters and protect the creator's time. As the creator, as the coach, if you're around 20, 50K, 100K a month, you should only be focusing on content and your clients, bringing in the leads through content and focusing on getting your clients results. Number 2, what we need for this to work is the tracking and the data. We want to be making educated decisions based on data, not strategy. It's kind of amazing how many coaches are not tracking their business. I like to call this, like, let's say you are going to the gym. Okay, this is you. Actually, we'll make you lift some weights here, pumping some iron. Buys for the guys. Okay, you're pumping some weights, but you're not tracking your calories. You're not tracking the amount of protein you're having every day. You're not tracking the weight progression, right? Every time if you're trying to really gain muscle, from my understanding at least, you're supposed to, up the weight by 5 pounds every single week, whatever exercise it is. If it's bench press, next week you add 5 more pounds to it. Okay. You need to be tracking that, because otherwise, if you don't, you're going to look at yourself in the mirror in 6 months and ask yourself, why didn't I gain any muscle? Why do I look the same? Because you had no idea how much you were eating throughout the day. You had no idea how much protein you're taking in. You were just flying blind when it came to going into the gym and just picking up the weight. Without that data, you can't progress. And a lot of coaches just opt into the newest strategy, the newest marketing tactic, the newest funnel, the newest whatever, right? And they don't truly know what they need. You need to find out the data so you can figure out what to invest into. Like, let's say your show-up rate is pretty bad. You have a bad show-up rate. It's about 50%. Okay? With that data in place, we now know we can invest into the right tactic, the right solution to increase the show-up rate. So you could either purchase somebody's course who talks about show-up rates, or you can spend time, which is another way of investing, to figure out how to increase your show-up rate. But we want to be collecting data for this reason, to make educated decisions within the business. We do not want to be flying blind. So what we're going to be looking at is the amount of book calls, cost per acquisition, profit margins, show-up rate, and then having a CRM in place to help us out with this tracking and the sales team. From here, we're going to be wanting a little more consistency. Okay. We want consistent leads. Organic content is great. Organic and ads actually is the best combo because organic can really help dial in your ads. It actually will lower your cost per ad spend. But organic, unfortunately, doesn't bring you the consistency that you want. You can't hyper target dream clients. So we're going to be working on an advanced ad ecosystem. We're going to be implementing DM ads, using ManyChat, capturing the email in the DMs, and using an appointment setter to get the appointment if at that time, the person hasn't booked the appointment already, and we're going to be sending them to a YouTube VSL. And then that YouTube VSL is also going to dictate the next 3 to 5 videos that are going to pre-sell their leads. And these next 3 to 5 videos are just objection handling videos. They're all going to be on YouTube, and we're going to be using YouTube as the landing page, as the real funnel. That's some sauce that most people aren't talking about. That's it. This is exactly what we're going to be doing to take Yash and Ryan to 100K. This is exactly what we did to get him to $27,000 in 7 days, cash collected. And if you want more and want a more streamlined process, a faster way of getting you, if you're a coach, to 20, 30, 100K a month with the right systems, installing an ecosystem, having an inbound environment, then go ahead, click the link below, book a call. We'll see if we can help you out. Other than that, check out my other content, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.